governed by one eternal law. All that begins must end. The reign of the old shogunate is over.
Greetings, Shoguns. I'm Campos and welcome to C Gaming Reviews, your weekly portal to the gaming worlds. Today we equip our matchlocks and sail to Japan to embark on a campaign into the rich worlds of Total War Shogun 2 and its game modes. As usual, we are checking and reviewing their gameplay mechanics, the amazing host, and more. And without further ado, let's march into the heart of feudal Japan. And remember that this is purely our opinion. If you don't agree, feel free to comment below your thoughts. Let's begin. Shogun 2 has two expansions, Rise of the Samurai and Fall of the Samurai. Both are pretty self-explanatory. Shogun 2 itself was released in March of 2011 by Creative Assembly, while Rise of the Samurai was released in September of 2011 and Fall of the Samurai in March of 2012. In terms of story and setting, Rise of the Samurai happens first in 12th century Japan, focusing in the Genpei War, a conflict between the Taira and Minamoto clans while Fujiwara are preparing themselves to the conflict. Shogun 2 takes us to 16th century Japan during the Sengoku Jidai period, time of intense warfare, political intrigue, and war between clans over domination. And lastly, Fall of the Samurai is set in the 19th century during the Boshin War, a historical conflict in Japan where the traditional samurai values collided with the modernization and westernization of Japan. So, if you ever want to try these games in chronological order, do Rise of the Samurai first, then Shogun 2, and lastly Fall of the Samurai. The core mechanics in all three are pretty impressive, maintaining the values of a total war game with its turn-based strategy and real-time battles. Shogun 2, as base game, is simply fantastic. It refines the rock-paper-scissors approach in terms of units, having melee infantry, missiles, and cavalry. We get to choose from lots of factions across all Japan, each with their own specification and special traits. But, and this gets across the all three game modes, there is lack of differences between the factions. While being true that we have lots of faction options, truth is that choice has minimal impact. We have one culture and the same unit roster for all, with just some unique units to some clans or slightly stronger units here or there. In my opinion, that is the biggest downside of this game. It is basically always the same faction, but reskinned. In Fall of the Samurai, for example, while adding more firearms, naval warfare, and technology overall, both if we side with Shogun or with the Emperor, we get the same units. It lacks in depth in that department. This being said, Shogun 2 is an amazing game. It is on the simplistic side, while comparing to some other titles of the Total War series, but every aspect works very well. One thing that the developers simply nailed was the graphics and the art design of this title. We are presented with detailed and historically accurate environments with all three eras. On one side, vibrant and cherry blossom-covered battlefields and bustling castles. On the other, steam trains, Western architecture, and colonial aesthetics. All three modes have a perfect attention to detail, and that does not go unnoticed. This is how to truly breathe a historical Total War game. And now that we're on the subject of breathing, let's checking the listening aspect. The hosts of Shogun 2, Fall of the Samurai, and Rise of the Samurai are masterpieces. Simple as that. One thing I'm seeing this last months creating these videos is that there are obviously good and bad games with better or worse mechanics. But overall, developers do know the importance of hosts and they make them glorious. The idea for the music is to help transport the player to inside the game and allow other senses than vision to come to play. The musics of this game evoke the spirit of feudal Japan with its traditional tunes, while also blending them with more Western melody in Fall of the Samurai. The soundtracks elevate the gaming experience. They harmonize the whole journey and allow us to feel the game more. Turning now the page to AI and challenge of this game. Speaking of good AI and Total War in the same sentence, give us a one-way ticket to any prison in the world of our choice. I choose Azkaban, by the way, except the Dementors. Don't like their cuddles. Way too much. But really, Total War produces some of the most known and beta strategy games ever, but their AI leaves too often a lot to desire. In terms of Shogun 2, I honestly think the AI is on point. The harder difficulties are hard and do pose a challenge. It is needed knowledge over the game and the units to remain victorious. It is pretty easy to cheese the game, especially in the vanilla Shogun 2. But I do like the legendary difficulty of this game. It actually challenges me to play, or to cheese. In my opinion, is the best AI of the Total War series, even with its flaws. Having said this, I do agree to other content creators, in this case Legend of Total War, when he said that probably comes because there are less aspects, mechanics, and units in the game for the AI to master. I agree with him. If we speak about 200 plus units or just 50, the approach of the AI is not going to be the same. Nevertheless, I do enjoy the AI of this game. It can become sometimes predictable, but it's very well made. Well done. Being this a Total War game, the modding community is something huge. Players create mods to make the world even more accurate, or a lot less accurate, or simply create a completely new game inside this engine. The Total War community never disappoints, and this obviously adds more replayability to a game that had already hundreds of hours of gameplay of its own. There are just so many factions and unpredictability that every playthrough is going to be unique. And then we have the two modes we already have spoken of. We can even start, for example, a campaign as Pro Emperor and simply change later for even more interesting gameplay. The possibilities are just endless, and now that we are talking about the countless hours of gameplay, it is also important to address the legacy of the game, because that factor allows us to see what the game brings to the table now and in the future. And these games and modes are celebrated as timeless classics, and it's very easy to understand why. They influence the franchise and strategy gaming genre as a whole. Their influence is even palpable, seen in other titles of this and other series, with good gameplay mechanics and historical authenticity that define this franchise. They are classics in an unquestionable way. So to wrap this up, this is, to this date, possibly my favorite historical Total War game, but I need to make my top 5 Total War games to make sure of this statement. This game is simple yet interesting and gives us the dilemma of the traditional versus the modern. It just works really well. Great graphics, good history, perfect host, and an endless game. These are the points of legends in the gaming world. That concludes our review of the Shogun 2 games. Being you a fan of strategic games or new, please do try this one up. Being a seasoned daimyo or a newcomer to feudal Japan, these games offer a strategic journey like no other. Happy conquering, and may your campaigns be legendary, unifying the whole Japan. Feel free to like, comment your thoughts and games you want to be reviewed. Subscribe, and until next time, unlock the world of gaming, where reviews come to life.